Hello, my name is Marcello, and all of us from TSAV would like to welcome you to the Source Audio Video Design Group's YouTube channel. Today, we will be looking at the Audeze LCD5 flagship headphones versus the brand new Audeze MM500 headphones. Many of you have been asking for this comparison, and even though there is a significant price difference, many of you question how close is the MM500 to the performance of the LCD5. In this video, I will do my best to answer that question for you. I reviewed the LCD5 on our YouTube channel and most recently the MM500. So besides briefly touching on the build quality, included accessories, and comfort differences, this video will be primarily focused on the quality of sound differences, listening with several amplifiers, both tube and solid state, such as the Chord Hugo TT2, Chord Hugo 2, Audio Research's i50 integrated amplifier, the Amps & Sound Pendant no longer being produced, and the OG i5 Pro iCan also no longer being made. Both headphones are built rock solid, with the MM500 using aluminum and spring steel for much of its build, with the LCD5 using magnesium, acetate, and carbon fiber, making it the lighter of the two headphones, weighing 420 grams versus the 495 grams of the MM500. The LCD5 uses newly designed pads that contour the face and reduce unwanted resonances and internal reflections. The MM500 uses more traditional, larger plush, premium leather pads that provide a bit more comfort than the LCD5 pads. However, the positioning and fit of the LCD5 pads are better in my experience. Both headphones are reasonably comfortable, with clamp force being the main thing keeping them both from being as comfortable or more comfortable than a few other headphones they compete with. I prefer the LCD5's weight, fit, and positioning of the ear pads. However, I also appreciate the softer, plusher pads of the MM500 and its more low-key look and metal design. Which headphones will be more comfortable for you will come down to each user and the shape of your head and ears. One thing to note is that the larger plusher pads do a slightly better job not breaking the seal in my use when wearing glasses. However, the LCD5 also performs well in this regard. So comfort is a toss-up, with the MM500 winning with the slightly more comfortable pads, but the LCD5 wins with the pads that better fit the shape of my head and its lighter weight design. The MM500 is the easier to drive of the two headphones in my experience, with an impedance of 18 ohms, a sensitivity of 100 dB per 1 milliwatt, and requires, according to Audeze, greater than 250 milliwatts for optimal performance, compared to the LCD5's 14 ohm impedance, 90 dB per 1 milliwatt sensitivity, and requiring greater than 500 milliwatts for optimal performance. Both headphones sport 90mm transducers capable of 5 Hz to 50 kHz, with the MM500 using an ultra-thin Uniforce diaphragm type and the LCD5 using a nanoscale parallel Uniforce diaphragm type. As far as included accessories go, the LCD5 comes with an ultra-high purity braided balanced XLR cable and a single-ended adapter with a more significant premium aluminum travel case. The MM500 comes with a standard single-ended braided cable, an MM500 travel bag, and a standard aluminum travel case. If you want to learn more about each headphone's technical specs and design, I will link their videos at the end of this video and the product info links in the video description below for you to check out. So let's get into my sound comparisons between these two headphones, then I will give you my overall thoughts on who each headphone might be better for and if I feel the LCD5 is worth more than 2.5 times the price of the MM500. Listening to each of these headphones to formulate my thoughts about the sound signatures and how they compare was a gratifying experience, as each headphones produce an impressive sound quality. I listened to several of my music playlists, and I will go through a few tracks now with you describing the differences I heard most prominently between the two headphones on those specific songs. Starting with one of TSAV Jason's favorite tracks from Snarky Puppy, Lingus. Both headphones displayed the speed and instrument timbre exceptionally. There were some noticeable differences, however, audibly. One of the first things I noticed was that the soundstage depth, imaging, and definition are more impressive sounding from the LCD5, with more space around each of the instruments on the track. The punch of the drums when they hit was good on both headphones, but not as good as other dynamic driver headphones I have heard. Still, both do a reasonable job with a punch and slam, with the LCD5 having a more fast and precise punch, and the MM500 having a bit less tight dynamic punch that can be heard when the drums are being struck. The mid-bass and some of the bass regions of the MM500 sound to have a bit more warmth in them when compared to the LCD5. I especially noticed this additional warmth from the electric bass, drums, keys, and electric guitar, all sounding to have a bit more body and warmth to their sound on this track. The LCD5 sounds to have a more forward mid-range, but better texture, detail, and depth in the bass regions. The cymbals on the mix sounded more present, with more energy from the MM500, asking for more of my attention on the song. The LCD5 presented a faster quality of sound, with the dynamics and shifts of the music happening faster and more fluidly. Timbre-wise, the cymbals sounded a bit more accurate with their additional energy and presence to me from the MM500. However, the keys, drums, and guitar strings sounded a bit more defined and lifelike from the LCD5, even if I enjoyed the little extra body and warmth in these areas from the MM500. Resolution-wise, the LCD5 could better resolve some of the finer details of the song. However, both headphones are very impressive and enjoyable to listen to. The next song, Private Investigations from Dire Straits, is on their Love Over Gold album. I like this track for evaluating soundstage imaging, depth, accuracy, and how headphones or speakers display instrument timbre. Comparing the LCD5 to the MM500, and it was evident to me which headphones I preferred for this song. The LCD5 has a more open and impressive soundstage with better layering and definition. The LCD5 presented the electric guitar and bass guitar strings with more definition, imaging them with more air and space around them on the soundstage. The piano keys lack a bit of weight and warmth compared to the MM500, but they are superbly defined and accurate sounding. Mark's vocals image more impressively with a larger feel to them on the LCD5, with the MM500 sounding more intimate. Overall, I got the sense of a more refined and defined sound quality from the LCD5 with a more complete soundstage. I also could hear more micro details of fingers sliding across the strings of the guitars as they were being played when listening to the LCD5. The LCD5's drum hits sounded tighter and more dynamic on this track, along with a tighter sounding bass guitar versus the slightly warmer, more full-bodied sound of the MM500. The LCD5 shows its technical ability and impressive technology on well-recorded high-resolution music, and in my opinion is superior in sound for a track like this. The next song, Matsuri, is from Kitaro off the Kojiki album. The MM500 presents the drums with good body to their sound and a slightly warmer sound from the bass regions. The LCD5, however, has a more dynamic, faster sound. When the drums are played, I perceive a more lifelike, visceral image as they are struck. While the soundstage is very good from the MM500, the LCD5 soundstage sounds more impressive with more dimensionality to the images, more precise, defined imaging, and better layering of the instruments and vocals on this song. The wind instruments being played by the Skywalker Symphony Orchestra sound a bit brighter in tone than I prefer when listening to the MM500. The LCD5 presents them a bit more enjoyably and less in my face. The sense of speed is pretty good with the MM500, but not as fast and lively sounding as the LCD5. The LCD5 presents a cleaner window to view the music as it's being played with razor-sharp images and accuracy. From a technical perspective, the LCD5 is superior sounding to the MM500, even if some measurements tell you they are similar on paper. When you listen to these two headphones over many days and side by side, there is no question in my mind about the technical advantages in sound the LCD5 presents. Speed, accuracy, imaging, dynamics, soundstage, and resolution are just a few areas in which the LCD5 is superior. You indeed could EQ the LCD5 to have a bit more treble and a bit more body in the bass, so it sounds closer to the MM500, but I doubt you can give the MM500 the overall technical performance the LCD5 has due to its design and technology by simply adjusting EQ or tone control. The next songs I listened to were Dawn FM with The Weeknd and the legendary comedian Jim Carrey's vocals opening the album, leading into a banger of a track, Gasoline. The bass from the MM500 on the opening of Dawn FM lacks a bit of texture and detail I've become accustomed to hearing from the LCD5 on this song. Jim's vocals image well and are presented intimately on the MM500 stage. As Gasoline opens, the bass line mixed with the synth sounds very good with a good rumble from the bass and appropriate sparkle from the synths. The dynamics sound decent with an okay punch from the kick drum. The Weeknd's vocals sound intimate and in my head on the stage, while also sounding a bit forward with a bit more energy in his voice than I prefer when he reaches higher octaves. Switching to the LCD5, and the depth and layering of the bird chirps are more realistic and dimensional sounding. The texture and detail of the vocals on Dawn FM have more presence and a more lifelike character. The quantity of the bass region sounds to be a little less from the LCD5 on the opening of Gasoline. However, again, the bass's detail, texture, and quality are superior, communicating with better separation of the sub-bass to mid-bass region. The Weeknd's vocals sound larger in their presentation, which is an exceptional quality of the LCD5 that many lovers of the classic HD650 will enjoy. The Weeknd's vocals also sound more accurate and smoother in the upper registries on the song's chorus. It's hard to go back to the MM500 after listening to the razor-sharp technical sound of the LCD5, even though the MM500 sounds terrific. But once you begin to compare, it's clear to me the LCD5 is in a league of players only reserved with some other flagship headphones that it competes with. However, a listener may not always want a more technical sound, so it's essential to demo each headphone side by side on the audio system you own. One more song, then I will give you my overall thoughts. The last song is going to be from Melody Gardot, Our Love Is Easy, live in Europe. Listening to Melody's vocals, I noticed the MM500 presents them floating above my head on the stage, and when she leans in closer to the mic, I can hear her proximity to the mic as she sings. The cymbals have good energy and can be placed easily in the mix, along with the guitar strings, which have a good tone on this song. The cello and the saxophone have excellent timbre and are a pleasure to listen to. Listening to the LCD5, the resolution and background details are more impressive and noticeable. Melody's vocals sound grander with their larger image and lifelike quality. Her vocals, however, can sound a bit more forward at times on the track, presenting a bit more in your face during her higher notes. The guitar strings have better texture and the cymbals don't have as much energy, but the detail from the cymbals is more defined and cleaner presented. The cello sounds to have a bit less body, but has more definition and a more lifelike image when played. The saxophone comes across as a bit more forward when it plays in some of the higher notes on the song, but like the cello, it is more refined and textured. So in conclusion, does the MM500 come close to the performance of the LCD5? Maybe on paper, if you're measure baiting and looking at frequency responses and drooling all over graphs, it does. But listening to them over many days side by side across many genres of music, amplifiers, and DACs, my opinion is the LCD5 still significantly outperforms the MM500 in speed, resolution, micro detail, macro detail, soundstage, imaging, accuracy, and dynamics. Does the MM500 get you more than half of the way to the performance of the LCD5, making it a fantastic value for listening and music production? In my opinion, 100% it does, and at their current asking price makes them a tremendous value, having many of the great qualities the LCD5 possesses for much less money. If I were working in the music or movie production industry and had the budget, I would still choose the LCD5 over the MM500 for their technical advantages it has over the MM500. However, if my budget were more limited, the MM500 would be an excellent choice for mixing and mastering. Equalization software is used in most cases when mixing music, so if the price is taken out of the equation, I would always lean to the more technical resolving transparent headphone, as I know I can EQ them to be flat if needed. For vocal production work or talking head videos, right out of the box, the LCD5 is superb and the MM500 is also fantastic. As with all things in audio, it will come down to your personal preferences on which headphones you most prefer. I encourage you to listen to them side by side with your audio system to get a sense of which is a better fit for you. We hope you enjoyed this video presentation of my experiences comparing these two fabulous Audeze headphones. In the description below, I will link to our website and more info on both headphones and other products discussed during this video. Let's start the conversations in the video comments on what you think of these two headphones. While you're there, smash that like button for us and subscribe today for more headphone comparison videos. Until next time, friends, remember, let the music be your guide.